much better. This one really fits. Seems like it goes right how it's supposed to. I really like it.
And now the news is good with Matthew Martin.
I'm Matthew Martin, and the news is good. Tonight, punishment and discipline. So I was studying the book of Numbers recently, and I came across the part where Miriam has sinned against Moses and against God, and God is now going to punish her. And Moses starts pleading for her for mercy on her behalf. And then God says this to Moses, Numbers 12:14. And the Lord said to Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. So this is the Lord's response to Moses. He asked rhetorically, what would happen if a father spat in the face of a daughter? First of all, you might say, why would a father ever do that? But that's a cultural thing, and it's a legal kind of thing in Israel. If a daughter had sinned and brought shame to her father, then he would deliberately spit in her face in order to shame her, in order to make her unclean under the law, and force her to be exiled from the family for a week. And then after a week, she could return home. You can imagine a scenario probably in which a daughter would have to be confronted by her father for some sin that she's done. She could say she's sorry and get spat on and then removed from the camp for a week and then come back. You might wonder though, well, why is he still kicking her out if she said that she's sorry? And that's the lesson for all parents to learn. Actions still have consequences. The father may forgive and still punish, because discipline is not the opposite of forgiveness. Discipline is teaching. Discipline teaches the offender why they need not do the offense again, why they shouldn't commit the crime a second time. Parents need to learn this lesson when it comes to their kids. When a child does wrong and says sorry, that does not mean they don't still get punished. And punishing them doesn't mean that you didn't forgive them. They need to learn a hard lesson, one that will stick in their minds, while also them understanding that you no longer harbor negative feelings toward them. You and your child are in good standing again, but they still have to get the spanking or the timeout or the extra chores or whatever it is. That's how they learn, through discipline, to become a disciple of you in the home. In the case of Miriam, if a daughter had proverbially spit in her father's face through her misbehavior, then she would bear the shame for 7 days, and then after being literally spat on, she'd be removed and again would return. That's just culture. And with that, the precedent is set, and God tells Moses that Miriam spat in his face, God's face, by challenging Moses' role as leader. And so God proverbially spat in her face, giving her leprosy. Thus, God orders Miriam to be excommunicated from the camp for 7 days. And once that's done, she can return to her family and to her countrymen and continue on as though the crime had never happened. That is the godly harmony of discipline and forgiveness. That is the lesson that all parents need to be reminded of. Your child will do wrong. They will do wrong. And you will have warned them and told them and threatened them, and then they will still do wrong. And then you must punish them. And they will try to say, okay, I'll do it now. And it is too late. That's why you gave them the cutoff. If you don't by this point, there will be punishment. If you don't in this way at this time, there will be punishment. And if they cross that line, they must be punished, or you have broken your word to them, and they will never respect you, and they will certainly never obey you. So you must punish them. And then when they say they're sorry, you must forgive them and still punish them. Because in that sense, that punishment is teaching. That is discipline. That is how they learn the next time not to do that again. A little bit of parenting advice, not from me, but from God, the great Father of all of us. Have a great day. It's been a very drizzly, kind of gray, rainy sort of day, but that is still a needed thing. I've reached the age where I look out the window and I say, we needed this rain. But there you are. I think we needed this rain. Still, great parts of Arkansas are experiencing a drought, and they need days like this where it rains a lot, and the drought can be lessened, and the earth can be replenished with water. So, my prayer for you is that you will remember that God is still active and working, even when it seems like He's not. That God is still listening to your prayers, even if He hasn't answered them yet. Because I promise you, there are a lot of people who have been praying for rain, and who heard what they thought was a no, over and over until suddenly, rain. And then they look back on it and they say, oh, it wasn't a no at all. It was just a wait, rain. And in that time, while they were told to wait, some of them were waiting and patient and trusting in the Lord, and some were fretting and frustrated and angry at the Lord. And it's both of them who saw that God was present. It's one of them who sees it with some shame. So my prayer for you is that whatever proverbial drought you're in the middle of, and you're praying and praying and praying, and God is seemingly saying no, that you'll remember that it could be that it's not a no, maybe it's just wait. And wait, and God will take care of you. Have a great day. God bless.